Let's transform into Rihanna. Well, two Rihannas. Today we'll be splitting the face into one side inspired by super glam Rihanna and the other side inspired by everyday Rihanna. Let's hope I'm not biting off more than I can chew. I wanted to do this to show you guys the difference of applying full glam opposed to everyday makeup, things I would do differently on one side or the other, but both of these looks are stunning. It's Rihanna. So let's dive in. All right, we're gonna start off with the everyday side. Filling the brows, I want these to be super effortless, lightweight, nothing too harsh. Side note, how cute is this burn book mirror? This is from the Pro Fusion and Mean Girls collab. Obsessed. So I'm going to take the Benefit Gimme Brow and Volumizing Pencil. Going to do hair-like strokes through the brow. Nothing too crazy and defined, because like I said, this is the everyday side and we want it to be much lighter and softer. All right, that is it for this brow. I really like this pencil. It really does give like a nice volumizing look to it, especially doing it super quick and natural. All right, I carved out and set my brow with a little bit of the NYX Serum Concealer, because this is definitely a concealer I would use on an everyday basis, much more than maybe a full coverage concealer like I would use doing full glam. But now we are going to do the eye look, and I am using the Fenty Beauty Stalk'r Palette. I love this thing because it truly is all in one. All of these shades double as bronzers, then you're getting two highlighter shades, but you can use anything in this palette as eyeshadow, so it works for everybody. The tones are great, blends like a dream. So for the everyday look, I'm gonna mix these first two lightest shades to start off in the transition, and we're just going to start working this into the crease, not bringing this too far in because she doesn't really have it too far on the inside. Now I'm going to take a scotch of the third shade and just lightly pack this on the outside corner of my eyelid. And now we're going to take the darkest shade and I'm going to hug this really close to the outside half of the lash line. Now I'm going in with the brush we used to blend out all those transitions, nothing on it, just to soften that edge and make sure everything is married together. Now she definitely has a little bit of like a golden champagne going on, so I'm literally going to mix these two, gold, champagne. And we're gonna use the finger because it's very just like blown out and natural. Nothing is too structured or constructed with this look. Now I dipped into just the champagne shade and I want to press that a little more on the inside corner and even up into this crease because it just looks very blown out and effortless. Like, you can really see the shimmer kind of hitting everywhere on her. So it doesn't look like she has any eyeliner on the top, but she definitely did tightline. So I'm gonna take one of my favorites, the Haus Labs liner in black, and tightline the top. God, who literally can do that without their eye watering? But I'm gonna go in now with the Rare Beauty mascara. I've been loving this mascara, especially because it's very volumizing and lifting and lengthening. All right, so she definitely has a little lash situation going on, maybe like a half lash. You can stop here. Mascara is wonderful, not on me. I feel naked, so we are gonna pop on a more natural lash for me. I actually have this glue that is new to me. This is the Kiss Lash Glue Liner in clear. And especially that we don't have eyeliner on, I'm really hoping this works because this would be dope. So we're gonna run this along the top lash line and see how it works. Okay, so that glue worked pretty nice. Like the lash is very on there, but it did remove my eyeshadow, which I do not love because right above my lash line, even though I tried to keep it super thin, you can see it took off the liner. So that isn't too hot for me. So this is gonna be a pass. I would just stick with the Duo Clear Lash Glue in the green packaging because it goes on clear, but it doesn't take off your eyeshadow and it dries down totally clear so you can't see it anyway. But I just don't love that this took my eyeshadow off. All right, now to prime the skin, we are going in with the brand new Fenty Beauty Eaze Droplet All Over Glow Enhancer. I love these, especially because it adds a super natural glow for everyday makeup, but it also is going to be more hydrating and enhance the wear time and just let that subtle shine come through. Now for the complexion on the everyday side, what better to use than the Fenty Beauty Eaze Drop Blurring Skin Tint. This is truly one of my favorite skin tints of all time. I have huge pores on the side of my nose, and this bad boy blurs, it smooths the skin, it gives such a lightweight finish. It really looks like your skin, but better. But another problem is that most super lightweight tints or tinted moisturizers or even foundations that I find don't have very good wear. This is the only one that I've tried that is, I mean, not only like humidity and sweat and transfer resistant, but the Longwear is to die for. Sometimes even when I go to events and want to look super natural, this is what I'm putting on. Oh, that is that side blended out. I mean, literally, It's stunning, and it's so lightweight. Up close, I'm not kidding you, it looks like I have nothing on my skin. Now to conceal, as always, I go in with a little bit of my LA Girl color corrector. This is in Peach. Especially when you're going in with a lighter everyday concealer, I like to use a color corrector beforehand because it's going to do half the work for you to just conceal that darkness that you're actually trying to conceal, so you can end up using less concealer. And now I'm going to go in with my NYX Serum Concealer. As I said before, this is a go-to for me on an everyday basis. It is so lightweight, beautiful for mature skin, dry skin. Press a little bit on with a brush or even your finger. Then I'm going to blend this out with my beauty sponge. All right, now that concealer's on, I'm gonna set this side of the face with my Kimchi Chic setting powder. This is in the white shade, and it doesn't really show up white because it's translucent, but it just brightens a little bit. And I'm gonna press this all over the liquid that we've applied so far. Whenever I'm doing everyday makeup like this, I'm not cream contouring. I'm gonna powder, bronze, and blush because it's just much more quick and easy and a little bit less glam. All right, now to bronze and contour, add a little bit of depth and dimension. We're gonna go in with the Sun Stalker bronzers from Fenty. This is in the shade Shady Biz. This one is much more warm compared to India's Sun is a little bit cooler. So we're gonna bronze with this one first and then contour a bit with the other one. And we're just gonna warm up the complexion by running this along the hairline, connecting to the outside of the brow, underneath the cheekbone, a little bit more onto the cheekbone. I don't want to go too low because that's really where our contour is going to go. So feel free to hug the actual cheekbone and bring it about halfway down. And then we're going to run it a little bit under the jawline and mostly down the neck just to add that tan in. And now I'm going to go in with that contour shade. And we're going to use a little bit more defined brush and use this just to kind of deepen up that deep recessed pocket here where we want to contour a bit more. Gonna run a little bit of this down the side of the nose. All right, so Rihanna's blush definitely looks more warm, not like orangey, but like pinky orangey. So I'm gonna use this beautiful blush from Haus Labs. This was part of their Casa Gaga collection, and this is in the shade Bellini. And we're gonna press this on the high point of the cheekbone. I also picked this blush because Rihanna's definitely has like a glow to it, and this has the most gorgeous glow. Now we're gonna finish up the lower lash line. I'm gonna go into the second darkest shade, and I'm gonna run this on the lower lash line, bringing it in about 75%, not all the way. And now I'm gonna take the second darkest and darkest brown mixed, and very tightly, only on like the outside 50%, run that in between the lashes. Just taking my fluffy brush to blend this out and make sure everything is super diffused. So it does look like she has black eyeliner in the waterline. I don't think I'm gonna do that because I want to keep it a little more natural. I'm just gonna do mascara on the lower lash line. Now for highlighter, to keep with the golden theme, I'm gonna use a little bit of the Sigma highlighter in Savannah. I've been loving this. Honestly, mainly we're gonna use this for the inner corner to really just make it pop. Oh, this is such a beautiful highlighter. I'm gonna take the littlest bit on the cheekbone, just press this in and melt it. Especially for daytime, we don't want anything too blinding and crazy. All right, now I'm gonna set my brows with the Florence by Mills brow gel. I love this brow gel. The wand is so small and really gets in there and holds everything in place all day without drying like white and crusty, which is super hard to find in a drugstore brow gel. And now to set this half of the face, I'm gonna go in with the Rare Beauty 4-in-1. Let's go ahead and cover this side. All right, now for lips, I'm gonna go in with the REM Beauty lip liner in Harmony. This one matches Rihanna's pretty close. And then for gloss, I'm gonna go in with the Fenty Beauty Gloss in Sweet Mouth. All right, guys, that is half the face done. The everyday side, looking gorge. This is so weird to have half the face not done, but let's go ahead and start the glam side. I went ahead and filled my brow with my Precisely My Brow Pencil from Benefit and covered the lid with my Anastasia Magic Touch Concealer, which is a little bit more full coverage because this is gonna be such a more glam, bold eye. And this look is more cool tone, so we're gonna be using the Lunar Beauty Nude Prism palette, and we're gonna start with the shade Milk Tea. And this one we're definitely going to bring in way farther than we did on the natural side because this really is like a very blown out smoky eye. And now for the darker shade, we're going to go in with Bloom For You, which is this gorgeous like burgundy shade that is really going to go with the lipstick. And this one we are really going to press nice and low. So once we stamp that on, I'm going to go back into the Milk Tea shade and use that to blend out the edges of this darker shade. So she doesn't have too much shimmer on the lid, but I'm gonna mix Sam and Icy because Sam has that pinky undertone, but Icy's lightening it a little bit how I need it. Oh yeah, that is just what I wanted. Now I'm taking that first brush and just running over the edges to make sure everything is nice and blended. All right, so same thing. She doesn't look like she has top liner on. So I tightline with my Gaga liner. And now I'm just going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Mascara. And the Rare Beauty one before was just kind of giving me a little bit too much trouble. So I decided to go in with this. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and pop on a much more dramatic wispy lash. This is from Kiss, the Lash Couture in Chiffon. They are just much more big and oomph, more eventy. So I'm gonna pop this one on and we'll be right back to start the complexion. I am actually going to be mixing the Fenty Beauty Soft Matte Longwear Foundation with the new Eaze Drop Glow Enhancers because I want to add a little bit of the glow into this foundation, but I love the blurring soft matte look that this foundation has. This truly is a go-to foundation for me. It is beautiful, it blurs my pores, it feels light as ever, but you can totally build this up to full coverage. But more importantly, like I said with my pores, especially with full glam, I want something that is pore diffusing and has a soft matte finish just to look really airbrushed. All right, the foundation is blended out. I definitely think you can see the difference in coverage. Like this is just so flawless. Like you can definitely tell the difference on the forehead coming through a bit. So now we're almost gonna do the exact same steps, but we are gonna cream contour on this side because I just think cream contouring adds that really beautiful from within look that you want when you have like full glam. So I'm going in with Butter Biscuit first, and I always use my beauty blender with the Fenty cream bronzers, and I'm using this one first because it is a little bit more warm, and we're gonna follow the exact same steps as the powder, doing the warm first and then contouring next. Now we're gonna contour with the shade Amber. Now for concealer on this side, I'm gonna go in with my CoverGirl Outlast Concealer. This stuff is so full coverage, so beautiful, and this is definitely more of, like, for me, an event concealer. And I'm bringing this a little lower to really get that triangle of light, especially because a more full glam look, we want this to be super brightened, especially because we're doing a cool tone look, because it could bring out the darkness and blueness under our eye. All right, now that the concealer's blended out, I'm gonna take that same Kimchi Chic setting powder and press this on top just to set everything. On a fluffier brush, just give a very light set. You don't need much setting powder with this foundation because it really has a beautiful soft matte finish. Okay, so I went ahead and carved out my contour with a little translucent powder. I just dipped my beauty sponge in and ran it along. This is always something I like to do with full glam because it just really sharpens things up and makes it look a lot cleaner. And now I'm going in with the Fenty Beauty Bronzer again. This is in India Sun. This is the more cool tone one. And we're just gonna use this to slightly contour our nose. And now for blush, I found this one from Koki. This is the Gradient Blush in Bellissima, and I thought this was absolutely perfect for this side because it has just enough cool tone in it where it's not like purple, but it's still pulling the way hers is pulling. Oh, that is exactly what I was hoping for. All right, so Rihanna has a very strong under eye. We're talking black in the waterline, black on the lash line with the shadow smoked out. So let's start with our Haus Labs liner again, and we're just gonna run this on the waterline. All right, we have that black liner smoked out on the waterline, and underneath we're gonna dip back into that Bloom For You dark kind of burgundy, maroon, purpley shade. And I'm just gonna kind of anchor and set this liner underneath the lash line. I'm gonna take that same Sigma highlighter in Savannah to highlight the inner corner because her inner corner was gold on this eye as well. And we're gonna take this and we can be a little more generous on this side. And press this into the high points of our cheekbone. This really is one of my favorite highlighters because I just feel like it melts into the skin like nobody's business. I definitely want to highlight this side of the Cupid's bow. Set the brows with my Florence by Mills again. That's how good this stuff is. I would beyond trust it for holding my brows for glam makeup or an event. And now for possibly one of the most iconic parts of this makeup look, the lip. So we are using, of course, Fenty Beauty Icon lipstick in Flaunty Anti. This color is stunning. Alright guys, that is the lip. And last but not least, for the glam side, I'm going in with my holy grail if you want this thing to be tsunami proof, is the One Size Until Dawn mattifying setting spray. So let's go ahead and cover our natural side. That is it guys, 2 different Rihanna looks on the same face. We have our natural side and our glam side. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. This was super fun to film and also understood like the little differences and tweaks you can make when you're doing everyday makeup or super full coverage glam makeup. Make sure to sound off in the comments down below if there's any other dual makeup looks you'd like me to do like this. And as always, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you are already, hit the little notification bell right next to the subscription button and you'll be notified every single time I post. And if you want to keep the party going and check out this full face of Rare Beauty that I just posted on my channel, go ahead and give that a click. Wherever you guys are, I hope you are happy, safe, and healthy, and I will see you on the next video. Bye guys.